disappoint somebody. For example, maybe your teachers. Your teachers think, oh, I'm so proud of you. You can do a great job this year. I know you're a great student. And then when you give your homework to the teacher's like, this, you can do better, right? That's when they feel disappointed, right? The teacher thinks, you can do this, and you only do this, right? Or sometimes our parents feel that way, when our parents think that, my children are such good children, and they're so well behaved. And then the parents find out that their children are not really that good, right? Or they did something stupid and they got in trouble. Then the parents feel disappointed. So we use this for a lot of things. You can feel disappointment with a person or a place. When I first came to Taiwan, that's actually one thing I did have a problem with. Because my father was a high school teacher. All right, I told you my father was different. He didn't really spend a lot of time with the other teachers. My father thought his job was to be with his students. So he tried to help his students. And whenever his boss or the other teachers tried to do things that would help them, my father was the one to say, yeah, but that doesn't help the students. So my father had a lot to talk about. When your dad comes home after work and he talks about, what happened at work, right? So we heard a lot of trouble about the school. But it wasn't the students that were the trouble. It was the other teachers or the boss, the administration, the principal, or so on. So because my dad talked about all of these problems, I didn't want to be a teacher. And when I came to Taiwan, I thought, well, I'll try it, right? But when I first started teaching at that school, at first I thought, well, this is really a great school. The teachers work together, everybody cares about the students, the boss is really understanding. My chairman in my department, the English, right? He was actually a really supportive guy. When I first came to Taiwan, I had a few problems. One of them is, well, I'm Canadian, and my mom is German, so I drink a lot. In Canada, we don't have a lot to do in the winter. It's winter most of the year, so we drink a lot. My mom is from Germany. Germans drink a lot. Every time I went to Europe, I drank a lot. But I was going to be working at a Christian school, and I wasn't supposed to drink while I was at school, right? But I explained to my boss that, Canadian, half German, I drink. What do I do? And my boss said, well, if you really need to drink, then just go to another city. Yeah. So, because in Canada we drink a lot of beer, and Germans drink a lot of beer. But so my boss told me that if you really need to drink, then go to another town, so that our students won't see you, right? So my boss was really supportive. He was very helpful. So when I first went to this school, I thought, this is a really great school. There's no politics. No, the teachers don't fight with each other. They don't fight with the boss. Everybody just works together and everybody's happy all the time. And then I realized it's not really like that. I ended up being really disappointed with my school because to me, I thought it should be about the students. We help the students. But my boss, 不是外文系的主任，是那个 how do you say that? 那个 the school leader, the school president. they had all of these ideas about making the school better, but not about helping the students, to make the school look better. But just because it looks nice on the outside doesn't mean it's good on the inside. So I actually stopped spending time with the other teachers, and I spent all my time with my students because, I figured at least that's what I'm supposed to do. So yeah, that idea, being disappointed, right? So I felt disappointed about that school, but not about Taiwan. When I came to Taiwan, I didn't really expect it to be, really great and awesome. I didn't really know anything that it would be like. I didn't know what to expect. So, yeah, it was, that wasn't disappointing. Yeah. I'm trying to remember if there's any places that Hong Kong. I was in Hong Kong just for one day. I had to get my passport changed. And I honestly found Hong Kong a little bit disappointing. Have any of you been to Hong Kong? Oh, okay. So, are you from Hong Kong or not?
No.
Oh, okay. Because we have students from there, right? So what I found about Hong Kong is it's exactly the same as Taiwan. Exactly the same, except people follow all of the rules. Like that was the one thing that was different. You get into a taxi, and the taxi driver won't even move until you have your seatbelt on. Like, who does that? In Taiwan, nobody cares. Okay, maybe in Taipei now, they're more careful, but really, there's a speed limit. Well, if there's a camera watching your car, then you don't go too fast, right? But as soon as the camera is gone, you go as fast as you want, right? Right. If there's a red light, then you just honk, and then you keep going. Red light doesn't mean stop here. It just means, be careful. So, but in Hong Kong, no, in Hong Kong, if you see a yellow light, you stop, right? So they really follow the rules. And everything else, though, is the same. So I found that a little bit disappointing. I thought, it would be a different country, but not really. So. Okay, so what else can we talk about? I'm doing most of the talking, so after the break, you guys have to talk more, okay? So what else can you ask? How's Taiwan? Yeah, you haven't asked anything yet, so. Try see. Okay. So how are Canada's education and Taiwan's education different? Yeah. Okay. The big difference, it's really about your culture. Right? It's about how in Asian culture you put the community first. Right? The important thing is not the person, but the society. Right? So family and community, the other people. In the West, the important person is always you yourself.